So yesterday we went over what is called, let's see if we remember, los saludos. Now remember, los saludos is our Spanish word that means greetings. And while we were talking about los saludos, we learned words such as hola, we learned buenos dias, we learned ¿qué tal? We learned all sorts of words yesterday, about anywhere from 10 to 20, depending on what you think of a word. Is buenos dias 2 words or is it 1 word? That's all up to you. Today we're just going to take it one step further. If yesterday we learned how to say los saludos, today we're going to learn how to say goodbyes in Spanish. And goodbyes in Spanish is translated as los despedidos. So repeat after me.
400 Hall, you can release 400 Hall.
As you can see, I'm still up at the school. Repeat after me. Los despedidos. Los despedidos. So today we're going to go over our goodbyes. And we have a couple of these, and they all pretty much mean the same thing, but with some differences. So our number one that we're going to be using the most often, the one that you've heard time and time again, if someone says hello to you, hola, then eventually you're going to have to say goodbye, which would be adios. Please make sure to put that little accent over the O. I'm going to teach you a little bit later in the video how to change your keyboard so that you can add these accents very easily. So hola or hola means hello, and then adios means goodbye. Super simple conversation. After adios, we have a couple more that we need to go over. First one we have is hasta pronto. Now, hasta pronto is one that's used most often if you're going to leave and you will be right back. So this one goes up to maybe, let's say you're going home or you're going to your next class and you will see your friend in the next, within 1 hour. Anything later than an hour and we'll probably use a different one. So hasta pronto means that you will leave and then you're coming back within the next hour. So it literally means see you soon. Okay, so we've got person number one over here. They say adios. Person number two over here, they don't want to say adios. They want to change it up a little bit. They know that they're going to see their friend again in the next 30 minutes. So they will say hasta pronto. So repeat after me. Hasta pronto. Now let's say it together. Hasta pronto. So we have adios, hasta pronto, which means see you soon. Now we need to learn how to say see you later. So this means not within an hour, more like in a couple of hours, or I will see you tonight. And this one's going to be hasta luego. Repeat after me. Hasta luego. Now together. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. And this word literally means see you later. So we have adios, which is goodbye. We have hasta pronto, which is see you soon. And we have hasta luego, which is see you later. if you're not going to see them later today, so let's say it's 8th period or it's 9th period, you see your friends, y'all are leaving, you're not going to see them for the rest of the day, but you want to see them tomorrow, you're going to want to say, I'll see you tomorrow. You're going to say, hasta mañana. Because remember, that in with the little tilde over it, this is pronounced inye. So it's not hasta mañana, it is hasta mañana. So repeat after me. Hasta mañana. And then together it becomes hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. So now we have, let's see, 3 that use this word hasta. We have hasta pronto, hasta luego, hasta mañana. We have adios. And now I just want you to learn one more that means the exact same thing as adios. It just means goodbye. This one is used a lot more in Spain. It's not so much used in Mexico or Latin America. And it's definitely used more with friends. This one is ciao. Ciao. So instead of adios, you could just say ciao. Doesn't ever sound like a Spanish word to me, but it is. And it's a Spanish word that means goodbye. So we have hasta pronto, which is see you soon. Hasta luego, see you later. Hasta mañana, see you tomorrow. Adios, goodbye. And ciao, goodbye. So if you look into your textbooks, it goes over these despedidos. Remember, they are called los despedidos. It goes over these on pages 4 and 5. There's a good little conversation that says para conversar at the top of page 5. It says para conversar. This is a good conversation for you to read over. At this point, you should be able to understand everything that is going on between Julio and Mara. And these are all your key vocabulary words that we've learned so far. It is a full-on conversation that you could have with a friend. One thing that I want you to do that I'm having my kids in person take this conversation and read it with a partner. So what I need you to do as homework is I need you to find someone in your household just to read that over with. Or if you don't have anyone in your household right now, maybe you're home alone doing your homework, I need you to act out both parts. But I don't want you to read it. I need you to verbally say these words because the more you say them, the more you practice. So that little pink box up at the top where it says, Hola Julio, Hola Mara, ¿qué tal? I need you to read through all those bubbles so that you can make sure to get some practice in. So I would probably pause this video, go ahead and go do that, and then you can come back. Next up, we're going to start talking about la cortesía. Let me say that again so you can repeat it. La cortesía. And this basically means politeness, being polite, courtesy. This is going to have a lot to do with eating in restaurants or being in a situation where you need to be respectful to someone else. And there's not too many words that we need to learn here. We already know how to say thank you because we learned that one on yesterday's lesson. Remember, thank you. If you're trying to be kind, you would say thank you is gracias. Now we need to learn how to say please. So let's say you're at a restaurant and you need to order. You could say, let's say, Un sandwich. And then we'd use our word for please, which is por favor. Un sandwich. Por favor. So you're literally saying, can I have a sandwich? Please. Very simple, easy way for you to get your what you want across to a waiter at a restaurant. So we have please as por favor. So next, the waiter is going to bring you your food. You've ordered un sandwich por favor, so you've made your order. Waiter's going to go off. They're going to bring your food. You're going to say, obviously, thank you, right? Because they just brought you your food. So you're going to say gracias, which we already know as thank you. And at this point, the waiter is going to say, no problem. And we have 3 ways that we can say no problem. Just like we had 2 ways to say how are you. Remember, ¿qué tal and cómo estás? We have 3 ways to say no problem. The most common way, you would say de nada, literally meaning it was nothing. You could also replace this word right here, and we could say por nada. And then one more way to say the exact same thing, you could say no hay de qué. All 3 of these mean it was no problem or it was nothing. So repeat after me. De nada. De nada. Por nada. Por nada. No hay de qué. No hay de qué. Or if you speed it up, no hay de qué. All 3 are ways that you can say no problem. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Mr. L, I'll probably just memorize this first one because it's the easiest one and then I'll be good for the rest of class. Not necessarily. On the quiz, I may give you de nada. And I may say, clear page. I may ask a question, what 2 phrases mean the same as de nada? Now that one phrase that you thought you could memorize and get through the class, that's the phrase that I gave you, which means you can't get either one of these phrases that I need you to get, and you're going to miss points on that. So I would suggest just memorizing all 3. De nada, por nada, and no hay de qué. Now, la cortesía. La cortesía is found on pages 6 through 7 of your textbook if you care to look through that. And then los despedidos is found on pages 4 through 5. So altogether, we've gone over through 4 through 7 in the pages in the textbook. Most of the exercises that we went over that are in the textbook, I have embedded into worksheets. That's what you've been doing on Google Forms. So there's no real need to do the worksheet or the activities that are listed in the textbook. But you can use the textbook to help your learning and to look over the lessons that I'm reading over as I make these videos for you. A really good activity for you to do for vocabulary would be activity 6 on page 5. And it's called Rompe Cabezas. So this means like brain teasers. Rompecabezas literally means head breakers. So if you want to do activity number 6 on page 5, that's a good one for your vocabulary. What you're doing is it gives you the 2 puzzle pieces, and you need to match the 2 pieces together to form one of your vocabulary words. So let's say I've got the piece that says, let's see, this one says CH, and this one over here has AO. You would put those together. You'd put those together and you would get ciao. So you're just going through those pieces and forming your vocabulary words. This one's not mandatory, but it would be a good little study bit for if you are a little confused on some of this vocabulary. Another one that might be good is, like I said, going over that para conversar. Make sure that you read over that dialogue. Also on page 7, I would suggest at least looking over activities 2 and 3. You can use activity 1 on page 6 as a reference point, but activities 2 and 3 have you asking a waiter what you want to eat, and then that waiter would come up and order. So I would try to make up a quick little dialogue using those questions and using the model on activity 1, because I know there will be a section on the first test that will have you filling in the blank of a conversation between a waiter and a customer. So just kind of look over that. Look over the pictures on page 6 with the waiter and the customer talking about what they're having to eat, and just kind of be comfortable with the way that you would word an order in Spanish. Last thing I want to kind of go over before in this video is we do have the Spanish alphabet quiz coming up on Friday. So I want to quickly just kind of go over the alphabet. I'm going to say each letter, and then I want you to repeat it back to me, and we're going to do that twice. Okay, so I'm just going to say the letter. You repeat exactly what you hear. A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, A, M, N, Ny, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I'm going to go through that once more. A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, A, M, N, Ny, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So just a quick rehash. We've done a lot of vocabulary so far, and I promise it will change up. Right now we're going over something called lecciones preliminares, which means basically beginning lessons. These are things that we believe that you need to know before we actually get into the nitty-gritty grammar section of Spanish. That's why it's a bunch of vocabulary and phrases and sayings that you have probably heard before, because we feel like this is information that you need to have before we even start teaching you Spanish. So right now we've learned how to say hello as hola. We've learned how are you as ¿qué tal? And ¿Cómo estás? We have learned, if someone asks you, ¿Cómo estás? We've learned how to say, I'm very well. Muy bien. We know how to say thank you. Gracias. We know how to say good morning. Buenos días. Again, remember OS at the end, accent over the I. We know how to say good afternoon. Buenas tardes. We know how to say good evening. Buenas noches. We know how to say sir. Señor. We know how to say Mrs. Señora. We know how to say Miss. Señorita. We know how to say goodbye. We could do adios, or we could do ciao. We know how to say see you soon. Hasta pronto. We know how to say see you later. Hasta mañana. We know how to say see you. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Hasta mañana is see you tomorrow. See you later is hasta luego. Oh, we know how to say and you. So if someone asks you, how are you feeling? And you say, I'm well, and yourself, you would say, ¿y tú? We know how to say, let's see, what else do we have? We've got please, which is por favor. And we have 3 ways to say it was nothing. We have de nada, por nada, and no hay de que. We've got a lot of words under our belt already. And that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. Last thing I want to go over this video, and I feel like it's very important, especially for those of you that are working on a Chromebook that belongs to the school. This is how to turn on your international keyboard. That way, whenever you're working on bell ringers or anything and you need to put words with the tilde over it, or you need letters with accents over it, this is how you're going to do those letters. So, step 1, you're going to turn your Chromebook on, obviously. So let's write these out. 1, turn on. Step 2, you're going to click in the bottom right of your screen where it says the time. Just click the time. It's going to pop up like a little settings box. Step 3, you're going to click on the keyboard. There should be a little tab. It's like a circle with like a little keyboard on it. Okay, you're going to click that. And you're going to click, I believe it says United States International. Okay, you want to use the international keyboard. And what's going to happen is once you click on the international keyboard, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, it's going to say INTL. That's what you want to see. You want to see INTL in the bottom of your screen. Now, some of you are probably thinking, Mr. L, I don't see a keyboard in the bottom of my screen. There's nothing there. That's fine. That just means it hasn't been added to your computer yet. You're going to have a couple more steps. So you are going to turn your computers on. Okay. Step 2, you're going to click on the time. Step 3, in the top right-hand corner of that little settings box, okay, so you've got that box that pops up. Somewhere up here, there's going to be like a gear shape thing for your settings. Click settings gear. Okay, and that's going to pop up a big old screen with a bunch of information. And then off to the right over here, there's going to be some tabs of information. You're going to click the one at the very bottom over here. You're going to click on Advanced Settings. Okay, with me so far? Turn on, click on time, click Settings gear, scroll all the way down till you get to the Advanced Settings. It's going to pop up some more. Once you click on Advanced, it's going to pop up some more settings. So step 5, you're going to click on Languages and Input. So click on Languages and Input. It's going to auto drag you down onto the right. So now, if you look a little to the right and then at the top of the screen, it's going to say Languages and Input, and there's going to be a big box at the top of the screen that says Languages and Input, and then underneath it, it says English, United States, stuff like that. You're going to click on that box. And there's a little arrow off to the side. You're going to click on that box. You're going to look down to where it says Input Method. Okay. And you need to say Manage Input Methods. Once you click this Manage Input Methods, it's going to take you to a list of new keyboards that you can add. Okay. You only want check marks next to 2 keyboards. You want a check mark next to the US keyboard, and you want a check mark next to the US International keyboard. They should be right next to each other. Once you've got these 2 check marks, you can just exit out of your settings, and you're going to do the same thing that I told you to do earlier before at the start of this demonstration. You're going to click down in the bottom right where it says time. Now you should have a little icon that looks like a keyboard inside of a circle. Okay, there's a bunch of little keys on there. You're going to click on that. You're going to get your 2 options. You'll either have US keyboard or US International, and we want you to choose this one. And congratulations, now you're on the US International keyboard, and you can do all these great little Spanish characters. And it's very easy to use, okay? To do a Spanish character, such as an N with a tilde, or an A with an accent mark, or if you're trying to spell K and you have to put that E with an accent mark, or even if you want to do upside down question marks or upside down exclamation marks for sentences, you are going to hold the Alt button that is to the right of the space bar. It has to be to the right of the space bar. It cannot be the one off to the left. So you're going to hold the Alt on the right of the space bar, and then as you're holding that button, you can just put any letter or number that you want. So if you put that right Alt plus an N, it will equal Inye. If you do that right Alt plus a question mark, it will equal the upside down question mark. If you do the right Alt plus an A, it will make an A with an accent mark. On a lot of the assignments that I post on Google Classroom, you have to have them spelled correctly like this. These are extremely, extremely important, and I'm allowing you to use your notes on many of the assignments for a reason. If you have the notes, there's no reason to not spell them correctly and use the correct symbols, because a lot of times if you don't use the correct symbols, it makes a completely different word. K without an accent is different from K with an accent. Okay? This one means what, and this one means that. Two completely different things. So please, please, please make sure to use that international keyboard and use the correct symbols for the correct words if you want to get full points on all of your assignments. I know we've done a lot today. We've gone over a lot of despedidos, or saying goodbyes. We've gone over la cortesía, how to speak politely. We have reviewed a little bit on how to greet people, los saludos. We've even reviewed our Spanish alphabet and learned how to access the international keyboard. And with that, this class is finally finished for the day. I hope you all have had a fantastic Tuesday.